South East Radio's morning mix.
South East Radio.
Now joining us is Bernadette Obinsky-Burke, who's Chief Executive of Childminding Ireland, who'll be discussing the newly published childminding regulations in Ireland and their significance for the sector. Good morning to you, Bernadette.
Morning, Alan. Thank you for having me.
Now, can you talk to me a little bit about these new regulations, please, and what they are and what has led to them coming into play?
Yeah, no problem. Well, it's been in the mix for a long time, Alan. I think it was 2016 when the first working group to look at the childminding sector was founded. And it's taken all this time, really, through various different iterations to get to where we are. And I think it's really important to say that there was a 12-week public consultation period at the beginning of the year. It ended in May. And I think it was real credit to all the childminders that actually engaged with the process, because the original draft regulations weren't appropriate for the home setting. And thanks to the engagement of the childminders, Childminding Ireland were able to go back and lobby for change. And there has been changes made to the regulations. And we really hope that childminders will process the new regulations, have a look at them, consider them.
Yeah.
See what it means
what
for
are
them.
the key regulations then, Bernadette, please?
Well, the big change, Alan, is that there's only about 66 childminders in the whole country that are registered with TUSLA. And, you know, there are obviously thousands and thousands of childminders who are working very successfully with children and families. And it's really important to point out that childminders can't register with, or couldn't before these new regulations, couldn't register with TUSLA unless they minded 4 or more preschool children or 7 children of any mixed age. There was no pathway for them to register, and the current registration process and requirements wasn't suitable. But now what's happened, we have new regulations that hopefully have been informed by childminders' input, and we have a 3-year period before they become mandatory. But you can join TUSLA now if you wish. And it'll become mandatory for all childminders minding even one child that they're not related to register with TUSLA at the end of the transition period. And there will be a pre-registration course that childminders take to get them familiar with the process and so on. And they'll be supported every step of the way. I mean, Childminding Ireland will be there for them and obviously do everything they can to make it as smooth a transition as possible. And the other thing we're doing is calling for halfway through the transition period, so say at the 18-month period, to have a big review of the regulations so we can see how effective they're being and the impact they're having on the childminding sector. And if there are challenges there, that they can be addressed before they become mandatory.
What's the initial reaction been from childminders themselves, please, Bernadette? Are they welcoming all of this?
There's a mixture. There's some that do welcome it, and that's very positive, because you can only, the National Childcare scheme, which is actually very attractive for parents now. Even the universal part of it can bring in to parents up to €5,000 a year at a maximum. So you have to be TUSLA registered. There has to be accountability for public money. So you have to be registered with TUSLA to be able to offer that to parents. And so some people have been waiting to do that. You know, they wanted to be able to offer this subsidy to parents, so that they're enthusiastic. But I think I would describe the overall response that we've been aware of at Childminding Ireland as somewhat muted, which is a positive in itself, because there was huge opposition to the original regulations.
I see.
So we see that as a move in the right direction, but we want childminders to process it in their own time and talk to us and talk to TUSLA if they have any specific questions for TUSLA about it, and see what it'll be for them and what they feel about it.
I mean, Garda vetting requirements for all childminders, mandatory child safeguarding and first aid training, eligibility for registered childminders to apply to offer the National Childcare scheme. Just as a matter of interest, I don't want to put you on the spot, and if you can't answer, I totally understand. We're calling you from South East Radio in Wexford.
Yes.
What level of childminding concerns are being raised in this county at the moment from childminders themselves to you?
Well, you've got very active childminders in Wexford, and we're delighted to say we have a good few members. And I think it's really around what will the inspection be, because there will be a pre-registration visit to the home to see if it's suitable for a childminder to work with however many children they're applying to work with. But TUSLA is saying to us that they're not intending to be catching people out. They want to be supportive. They're actually calling their work supportive compliance because they want to help people to register and stay registered. And it's very much about engaging with the childminder and working with them if there are any things that might need changing or modifying or, things like that. So I think it's going to be a case of it's very much a word of mouth industry, childminding. Everybody knows the local childminders, and word gets round very much. We've got a childminder only forum on our Facebook page, and so there's a lot of communication among childminders. So I think once it starts being tested, I think we'll learn a lot more about the new system.
Okay.
And
Bernadette, thank you for taking our call this morning. Childminding Ireland have a very comprehensive website. You've also referred the Facebook page. Is there anywhere else where people can go or need to go to find out more information on this?
Yeah, there's a helpline, a phone line, and it's former childminders that manage it, and that's 01 287 8466. But please get in touch because we're stronger in it all together. So there's lots of childminders waiting to chat to you. If you come along and join us, it'd be great.
Southeast Radio's morning mix.